Good morning. The second method to calculate the wavelength of light using the diffraction grating with the oblique incidence method. So, in the yesterday class, we have seen that the calculation of wavelength or the determination of the wavelength by using the grating in the normal incidence method. Okay, right? Now, the same calculation of the wavelength of light by using the diffraction grating, but using the oblique incidence. Okay. Now let us consider same the AB plane of transmission. Okay. Now let us consider AB plane of transmission. So that suppose this AB plane of transmission, then let us place the diffraction grating which is perpendicular to the paper of the plate as shown in the figure. Okay. Then what happens means we know that in the diffraction grating pattern we use different slits. Okay, we use different slits. So the distance between the two slits will be always width and distance. So E plus D is the distance between the two slits. Now suppose if we take clearly this diagram. Okay, if we incident a ray of light or with a path of light with I, incidence I, then the slit is going to be divided in two parts, that is S1 and S2. Okay, so then we are marking the perpendicular lines, that is from the S2 towards the I and S2 towards the theta. So sum of the angle between angles will be theta. Okay, so we form a S1P and S1Q drawing from the both the slits. Okay, now clearly see this diagram. Here we observe the two perpendicular lines, that is S2P, okay, and S2Q, and also CS1 is the incidence angle, okay, and DS1 or S1D is the transmission angle. So then finally the path difference, okay, the path difference between the S1 slit and S2 slit will be PS1 plus, okay, PS1 plus S1Q. Now calculate the path difference. How will calculate the path difference? Now let us take the value of P1 plus S1Q, right? Now see, PS1 plus S1Q is there. We know that P value is E plus D, then S1 is sine I. Why S1 is sine? S1 is on the sine of on the side of the incidence angle. Okay, so E plus D sine I plus again Q is nothing but E plus D, and S1 is nothing but sine theta. Then sine I and sine theta, if you remove this, E plus D is common, so remove that E plus D into sine I plus sine theta. So now take the condition for the central principal maxima for the nth order. Okay, that is E plus D into sine I plus sine theta is equal to n lambda. For the nth term it is sine theta n. So sine A plus sine B, 2 sine A cos B. So this is a formula of splitting. Then afterwards the sine theta minus I by 2 is equal to plus sine theta n plus I by 2 is equal to n lambda by E plus D. Take these two terms into the denominator, right? So if the deviation of the diffraction beam is theta n plus I, okay, theta n plus I, then its minimum value is given as in place of cos. Okay, so take the cos value, that is cos theta n minus I by 2 is nothing but cos 0. So theta I, both the side cos gets cancelled, theta n minus I by 2 equal to 0, that is theta n equal to I, right? So the minimum angle of deviation, that is represented, minimum angle of the deviation, that is dm, is equal to theta n plus I. Okay, from the equation 4 it is theta n I equal to theta n. Substitute in this equation, we'll get the minimum deviation equal to 2 theta n, that is theta n value is dm by 2. Okay, now substitute these equations in equation 2, that is e plus d sine dm by 2 plus sine theta by dm by 2. So sine plus sine 2 sine dm by 2, nothing but 2 of e plus d sine dm by 2 is equal to n lambda. Okay, so this is the calculation of how to determine the wavelength by using the grating, but using the oblique incidence method. Okay,